to the Black and White Sessions. We are so excited today to have the incredibly talented Amick Byram.
Oh my goodness, what a nice introduction.
Well, you know, we don't invite you all the way down here and then just kick you out.
Well, thank you.
We're excited that you're here.
Well, thanks. I'm just thrilled to be here. There's no doubt about that.
Well, it really is an honor, and we've talked about this in the past about how it would be great to have you come and be a part of this project. So we appreciate your support.
Well, it's my pleasure.
And
I'm thrilled to be here.
You know, we just love you and are grateful for you. So thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Well, I think a lot of people that follow the Black and White Sessions, you know, they're super interested in what it looks like to work behind the scenes in the music industry, and a lot of our followers are super young and want to kind of get into this industry. And I would love to know, just right off the bat, you have an incredible career that you have had and are having. And for longevity, what does that look like for you? Like, how do you stay in this industry and stay relevant?
Well, you stay in the industry in a couple of ways. One is staying relevant, like you already suggested. Staying relevant and knowing styles of music and being able to cop those styles if they aren't natural to you generationally. And the other thing is, I would say three things. One, being relevant in that way. Secondly, having really truly some gift that you can point to that sets you apart from other people. And then thirdly, beyond that primary gift, is being able to move and groove in different musical worlds. And so for example, I've done sound-alikes of Pavarotti. I've done sound-alikes of Freddie Mercury. So those are really divergent and really quite different. And I come from a musical theater background also. And so in musical theater, you get all kinds. There's legit musical theater, there's pop musical theater, all that kind of stuff. But I grew up listening to all kinds of music, literally country, western. My brother was into country western, so I and my mom was the big musical influence in our home. So having those abilities to move and groove into different worlds really helps a lot in longevity and helps a lot to have a few different streams of potential income for your career as a session singer, particularly. I guess the one of the big things also is really being someone who is enjoyable to be around. Getting along with others, because you may stand there for 8 hours with other people, and just to be able to be a normal, nice, wonderful person is really, really helpful.
It goes a long way.
It goes a tremendously long way. Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, you know, I think probably for your entire life, you know, when people say the Prince of Egypt, they think of Amick Byram, because it was a really big deal. And it was a really big role, and it's kind of, I would think, and maybe you can speak to it, a marker in your career. And you can tell us what those memories are like for you from working on it. But I would love to know, how did you get that job?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start with there. It was the first animated feature that DreamWorks came out with. And so there was an audition just to try to pool the talent into this new entity that was just started. And so I auditioned for this role and actually got it. So it was a pure audition, and where a lot of session work comes from just somebody calling you and saying show up, this was different because it was really a specific character and they wanted a certain sound. So they auditioned a lot of people, and so I had the audition and landed it. And I spent actually 3 years working on this movie, because DreamWorks took a lot of care. First of all, it was the first animated feature out of the gate with the new company, and Katzenberg had just come from Disney, and so he was very concerned that it really make a mark. Secondly, because it was biblical material, they had to take a lot of care with it, even from that theological point of view, because they had to appeal to Protestants, Catholics, Muslims, Hindu, I mean everybody, every stripe of a person of faith. And but I guess really the most important thing was that they really wanted to make a big mark with that film creatively, because Katzenberg had just come from, you know, Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid and all those movies. So So I worked 3 years on the movie, did vocal contracting for it, for group things, did the role of Moses. I actually ended up, once we all got to know each other and we were together so much, I ended up helping with some of the producing of some of the vocal, like with Ray Fiennes.
Oh, okay.
And so it ended up growing a really nice relationship with DreamWorks that remains to this day. So
that's so nice.
yeah, it was, and you're right, it was a marker of my career, most definitely. There's been a few, but that's been a huge one. And even now, that movie has legs in that there are still young kids and teenagers who love that movie, who have seen it. And it's weird, I'll go do a concert at a university or something, and if it's and there are kids in the audience who go nuts because of that movie. So it's been a real joy. It's been a blessing for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm a fan. I remember seeing that movie at a premiere in Nashville, Tennessee. Right before it was released nationwide. Because it was a big deal in that community, too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
It was a great time.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Well, let's talk about, because really I feel like you have so many different layers to your career, because you do have a wonderful background working behind the scenes in film on the choral side of things.
Yes, right.
But you've also done commercials. And also, we can't not mention your roles in Phantom of the Opera and things within musical theater. And is there something that brings you more joy than the other, or are they just all so completely different you can't really compare?
I hate to sound typical, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Each one of those things brings me joy, because each one of them, although they are in different kind of entertainment and a whole different, like theater's so different than film and recording, whether it be doing a jazz album or doing a film or a commercial, they're all so different. But the thing that really, the thread that ties them all together is the fact that I get to use a gift that God gave me in order to express myself in singing, and it's really it's my primary gift. And I have abilities in other ways, but it is the number one primary gift. And I get a lot of joy, whether it's going and singing on a film or doing a commercial or doing a live concert. I'm not doing any musical theater anymore. I stopped that several years ago. But even that experience was so joy-filled that, and it was a whole different thing. So you're right, I've been in lots of different, pies in this way. And the thing that presented each of those opportunities to me was my singing, which the singing opened a door to voiceovers. The singing opened the door to musical theater. The singing actually opened the door to doing straight plays. The singing opened the door to being on lots of films, even like the very latest films that we see now. Yeah. And I cannot express to you how just privileged and blessed I feel.
Now, did singing get you the job as a character on the Star Trek?
Yeah, well, let me think about that. Actually, I have to say it did. I actually played 2 characters on Star Trek. I played Lieutenant Hickman. Yes. But the major character was playing Ian Troy, Counselor Troy's father on the show. And one of the things, I don't think it was the primary thing, but it did enter in that, in one of the scenes as Counselor Troy's father, I had to sing a little snippet of Down in the Valley. And so I could sing Down in the Valley. So in a way, yes, that did enter in. It did enter in. It came full circle. It came full circle, yes.
Well,
right, exactly.
Okay, so we can't give that one totally not to singing.
Right. So it did help somewhat, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think that it was just the singing. I just think that you have such a great attitude and you bring such a joy to our venue here and to everything that you do. And we're so thankful that you came and joined us here.
Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be here and to hang out with you guys. And what a joy this was.
Well,
really.
Thank you.
You have blessed my life for me being able to do this and to share with your audience. It's a joy.
That's so great. Well, thank you so much, and we wish you all of the best.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
See ya.
Thanks. Bye-bye.